Hi, everyone, and welcome to the It Just Works podcast. I am Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X and my wish list for the console. What comes out in the first year of its launch, and just some of the hopes I have. And we're also going to talk about the Summer Game Fest demo event coming July 21st to an Xbox One. So basically, I'm going to read this article on Xbox Wire from Glenn Gregory. He's a senior product marketing manager at ID at Xbox. Excuse me, that's kind of hard to say for some reason. So I'll just go ahead and read it to you guys real quick, and then we'll quickly discuss it. So if you've been lucky enough to attend E3, PAX, Gamescom, or another show in the past, you know that above and beyond the spectacle of these shows, one of the great joys of attending marquee gaming events is being able to get your hands on games. Lots of games. Dude, what the fuck? This is an article from Xbox Wire. I don't know why, but I feel like the way they worded it is really throwing me off. Anyways, getting to try them out early and discover lots of new games is awesome, which it is. While we can't recreate the experience of attending a big show entirely, we can help you get your hands on lots of cool new games early. As announced by Jeff Keighley as part of Summer Games Fest, Xbox is proud to reveal that our Summer Games Fest demo event will be live on Xbox One from July 21st to July 27th. We'll have more than 60 brand new game demos for upcoming unreleased Xbox games available to check out for free. Look for the special Game Fest demo tile on the Xbox One dashboard that week to find a collection of available demos. So they are going to basically bring the E3 showroom to you. So I've gone to E3 3 or 4 times now, and basically you get to try out most of the demos you see from the presentations, or maybe just a little bit more of an extended demo. So essentially in this week, you will be able to download whatever we would have been playing at E3. This is extremely smart and really badass. I am excited for everybody out there that has an Xbox. We get to try out over 60 games they claim, so we'll have to see what kind of 60 games those are, but I'm very excited. And he goes on to say, as I mentioned, we'll have lots of games, somewhere between 75 and 100 when the dust settles. That's quite a bit. Obviously, a lot of these are going to be indie games. You can maybe expect half of them, and obviously like another 25 to be third party. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. But a couple of the games they talk about are Chris Tales, a gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs with a new perspective. Peer into the past, act in the present, and watch as your choices dynamically change the future, all on one screen as you play. That's actually pretty interesting. They show a screenshot to that, so that's kind of cool. Also, I will put a link to this article in the description of the podcast, so that way you guys can check it out for yourself. Destroy All Humans, the cult classic returns. Terrorize the people of the 1950s Earth in the role of evil alien Crypto 137. Use an assortment of alien weaponry and psychic abilities in the remake of the legendary Alien Invasion action-adventure. Reduce cities to crumble with your flying saucer. One giant step on mankind. So this game was originally released on the original Xbox. It was an extremely fun game. I'm really excited to see it come back, and the screenshot they show, it does look updated, fairly updated, so definitely going to be cool to get our hands on that. So we can move on to Haven. Share the journey of two lovers escape to a lost planet in a desperate attempt to stay together. You play as you and Kay gliding over the grasslands of a shattered planet. The demo will give you a glimpse of the beginning of the adventure. Fair enough. Hellpoint. The screenshot makes it look interesting. An intense action RPG taking place on Irid Novu, a derelict space station soaked in an intoxicating dark sci-fi atmosphere. Fight dreadful creatures, face the cosmic gods, and unravel their twisted story. Should the challenge be too great, play with a friend in online or local co-op. That is awesome. Skatebird. So I remember seeing the trailer for this and thought it was a joke, but it's not, and I want to try it out. Grind on bendy straws, kick flip over staplers, and carve killer lines through cardboard and sticky tape parks. Above all else, skatebirds try their best. So it's a skating game with birds. It actually looks pretty interesting. The Veil: Shadow of the Crown, an audio-based action-adventure game that unlocks the full potential of 3D spatial sound. The Veil sets out to breathe new life into medieval combat and provide a truly novel experience for visually impaired and sighted gamers alike. Should be interesting. Raji, an ancient epic, an action-adventure game set in ancient India. A young girl named Raji has been chosen by the gods to stand against the demonic invasion of the human realm. Her destiny? To rescue her youngest brother and face down the demon lord. Oh, I'm going to butcher this. I am so sorry. Mahaba Lasura? I don't know if I said that right. Looks like the last one will be Welcome to the Elk, a biographical adventure set on an island like no other where every character you encounter has a story to tell. From the weird and wonderful to the dark and desperate, all the tales told on Elk are based on true stories of life on the road less traveled. So those are just some of the few games that we will be able to play demos for, come July 21st for the Summer Games Fest. So definitely keep an eye out. Not going to lie, most of these sound pretty interesting. It'd be cool to get our hands on them and just see how they play. So that's pretty much the Summer Games Fest. Once again, I will have a link in the description of the podcast, so please check that out. And we're going to move on to my Xbox Series X wish list. We'll get one of the features out of the way first before we talk about the games. And that is the expansion on streaming and recording. So you have the Upload Studio now. They kind of got rid of it, sort of, but you can also record clips. You can stream through Twitch. And I hope that with the Series X, it's more streamlined, I guess you would say. It's not bad now, but I wish it was a little bit better. I wish there was more of an editor on the console itself. I don't know if that's something they plan on doing, but I think that'd be really cool. It's a great feature to be able to record your clips, check them out in real time, upload them to Twitter, OneDrive, or you can just download them to your phone on the Xbox mobile app. And they definitely have improved it since the launch of the Xbox One, but I'd like to see them really flesh it out more and make it more streamlined. That's just a really huge thing for me. I love sharing clips of, when I play with my friends. I like to stream when I can, so if they can make it better to just do it straight from the console, because I feel like we're bridging the gap from needing a computer to do most of my streaming, on the console. If they can continue to improve on that, I think that'd be great. That's pretty much it for features, though. I mean, if the party system and the friends lists don't mess up so much, so like when someone leaves the party system or the party that's in host, sometimes everyone gets kicked out of the party and you have to start a new one. If they can maybe work on that, so that doesn't happen, and then the friends list going out so frequently right now is kind of annoying. So hopefully they can work on those a little bit better. Obviously there's a lot of people that are online because of coronavirus and everything going on with that, so it might not necessarily be a feature that hasn't been more streamlined. It may just be because there's so many people on the network, which, it's very possible, right? So I'm going to talk about a few games that are going to be probably announced from leaks, and just because one of them is a pretty much traditional release now at this point. But I want to start off with Forza 8. Obviously, we can probably expect it to be at launch, but they haven't announced it yet, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it is happening. But Forza 7 was incredible, and I really want to see with the power of this console, Forza 8. I'm so excited to see another motorsport game with all new graphics and a better game engine. I'm anxious to see how they handle the new system. So I'm hoping that it gets announced. It's definitely on my wish list. I still feel pretty confident we're going to get it, but once again, it hasn't been officially announced. I was hoping we'd get a Gears of War 2 or Gears of War 3 remaster package. I think that would be, pretty good. I mean, Gears of War 5 just it didn't really hit the mark with a lot of older fans like myself. I didn't even finish the campaign because I got so bored, and they changed Horde and they kind of ruined it in my mind. I would like to see Gears of War 2 and 3 remastered. I definitely miss a lot of the maps too, though. There's such iconic maps, DLC maps that they brought out, and I would hope to eventually get to play on those, but we'll see. a couple franchises I hope come back. I'd like to start with Mecha Assault. So the last Mecha Assault was Lone Wolf on the consoles, and it is just a ridiculously fun game. Getting in mechs and just doing all out war against your friends. They introduced a exosuit in that game, so you're able to get on a VTOL in this little exosuit. But if you really powered it up, you can be an incredibly agile unit on your own. You can also attach to the bottom of a VTOL and fly around. Is one of the things me and my friends used to do. So I really hope we get that again. Just one more. Just give me one more Mech Assault, finish the trilogy, and call it a day. I think with the new hardware we have, it'd be phenomenal to see that come back, or make a comeback. The next one I want to move on to is Fable. Honestly, I'd like to see it completely rebooted. Fable 1 and 2 were phenomenal, but 3 just didn't hit its mark, and I'd like to see the franchise started over, but with the same kind of humor and not the same story, but maybe not too far off from it, because I feel like they did a really good job with those games. I really miss them, and I hope they do come back, because Xbox did have a strong RPG with that game. Fable 2, if you pre-ordered it, or if you got the deluxe edition, you got Hal's armor, which was Master Chief's armor and an energy sword, in their own Fable-esque looking way, so that was super cool. They later had a DLC where you basically got the Halo assault rifle. So I'd like to see, that game come back as a reboot, and then maybe you can have more crossover stuff within the same company, more Halo stuff on it. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. There's a lot of rumors that it is coming back with Playground Games. They are making some kind of RPG instead of Forza Horizon, so a lot of people are thinking that it's Fable coming back. The next one I'm going to talk about is something that so many people have been asking for years and years and years, and that would be Rare making Banjo-Kazooie 3. They did make Nuts and Bolts, but that was not a sequel to Banjo-Tooie, and I would love to see this franchise come back in all its glory. I mean, it's been way too long. So many fans want it. They just put Banjo-Kazooie on Super Smash Brothers. Everyone's hyped for the idea of this game coming back. So I feel like it's a no-brainer to bring it back, because so many people are going to want to buy it, play it. For some, it might even be a console seller. I mean, it is that popular of a franchise. Later after release, it can go out on the Switch, because the preferred way will still be on the Xbox with the graphics and the way it's going to play. So I really hope that comes back. I didn't say it yet, but I'd love Titanfall 3 to be announced as a timed exclusive for Xbox, because the first one came out as a timed exclusive, and it just did really good. It was a revolutionary game. We haven't played an FPS like that before, or I haven't, and it really changed my perspective on FPSs. Respawn found a way to make it feel so good, and they continued that with Apex Legends. And I know Apex Legends is doing really good. It's kind of a good cash cow for them, and they are updating it at a regular basis, so players are getting their money's worth. But I'd still like to see the Titanfall franchise make its way back, and I think on the Series X, that would be the smartest way to go about it. I'd also like to see maybe some timed exclusive Star Wars games, like Knights of the Old Republic, which are completely exclusive to the original Xbox. I'd maybe like to see a third one. Maybe find a way for BioWare to make it and bring it back, although BioWare in its current state isn't nearly what it used to be, so it's kind of a scary game to hope for. I'd also like to see maybe some Clone Wars era games come back. They could be reboots or completely different ideas, but with games like Jedi Fallen Order being so good, I'd really like to see where else the Star Wars universe can go in the gaming industry. So I'm hoping that we get some new games for that. But I'd say my biggest part of the wish list is that Halo Infinite actually just comes out, and that it's actually good. Halo 5 wasn't a terrible game by any means, but the campaign basically shit on everyone. It's not good at all. The Hunt the Truth podcast campaign and the ads that they shared, the marketing for the game is basically a bunch of bullshit, and they really led us on and failed miserably. It was cool to see Blue Team back for like 3 or 4 missions, if that, but it just was not good enough. I don't hate Spartan Locke like a lot of people, but to put him at the forefront like they did is really dumb in my mind. when you played as the Arbiter in Halo 2, it actually flowed very well. I didn't care for it when I was a kid, but when MCC came back out, or when it came out, and I played the Halo 2 remaster, it felt so great to play as him again and experience his story. It just works really well, and I really hope that the Infinite campaign is good. There's been a lot of toy leaks lately. I won't get into it because if what I saw was true, there's a spoiler sort of on a potential character death. So we'll have to see how it plays out. They did recently release a trailer that only confirmed that the Banished is back. We talked about it in a recent episode. And there's just a lot of hype around this game, but it's also terrifying that it comes out in a few months and we haven't seen any gameplay. We haven't seen anything besides toy leaks and the reveal trailer. And that, to me, is just terrifying when this is your flagship game for the brand new console coming out. So I'm really confused on, Microsoft's play on this, in 343. I don't really understand why they're going about it the way they are, and I just think it's a terrible idea. But we will have to wait and see. As I said before in a previous podcast, I hope they take some cues from ODST to where you can kind of play the campaign at your own level, or your own, however you want, at your own pace. You can do the missions however you want, but they still line up with the ending. Like, you still find your way back to go down that linear path that, the traditional Halos give you. So if you hear the plane outside, I'm sorry. It's hot and I have the window open. I hope that it's a bigger game in scale. Like the sandbox is a lot bigger. Maybe we can fly Pelicans. Maybe there's like a couple rescue missions where we have to help and save Marines, or maybe save a base from being destroyed and you have to pick up people in a Pelican. I know that sounds really far out there, but I just really want the most from this game. I want it to be Master Chief's last game, which I hope it is, so we can move on with other characters in the universe, because there's so many that they can go with. And I just want it to be a really, really good campaign, 4-player co-op, bring it all back. I want to just be able to use every vehicle too, though. Like, I hate that we can't use Pelicans besides glitches. I don't understand it, besides the fact that it is a dropship where it does carry Marines and drop off vehicles. Like, I get it, sort of. Excuse the firework. It's bright outside and people think shooting fireworks right now is a smart idea. I get why in the original games why you couldn't really use it, because until Halo 3, I believe they didn't have the rockets on them, so they were literally just troop transports. But I would still like to be able to fly it, though. I hope Forge is back and better than ever. It was amazing in Halo 5. What you could do with it was pretty phenomenal. I hope the multiplayer is like a cross between Halo 2 and Halo Reach, where it plays like Halo 2, but maybe you can sprint like Reach, where it's only for a little bit. I believe sprint in Halo still needs to be done right. But I believe you can't take it out of the game. I really don't want to go back to just walking around as a man in a giant suit. So I have a lot of hopes for Infinite. The Banished coming back is great, because I'm pretty sure that means the Flood are going to come back. None of that's been confirmed. It's just me hoping for it here. The Series X has so much potential to be an incredible console. We still have yet to get the price and the release date for it, but there's a lot to look forward to, I believe. And to me, it all starts with Halo Infinite. They have to get this game right, or Xbox is going to be in serious trouble. Or they can also announce almost anything I talked about on the wish list, because all of those games are something that people really, really want and gravitate towards. So I just wanted to release this episode real quick. It's just a quick, my wish list for Xbox. I'm a huge Xbox fan. I've been for years. I'm very grateful for a lot of the games we have with the consoles, and the consoles themselves, besides the Red Ring of Death, which was terrible. But I'm really excited for the future of gaming, and PS5 is already off to a good start. I think they're going to do really good. I think we might be getting a Nintendo Switch Pro next year, which is just going to be a Xbox One X version of the Switch, and I think that's going to be incredible. I hope it does happen, because I'd love to play Breath of the Wild 2 on a stronger Switch. So I really need Xbox to pick it up a little bit and help us fans out, because I believe the gaming industry is really going to start blooming here right now because of everything going on in the world. And so many people just need that little bit of getaway if they can't leave their house. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You can count for a Star Wars episode to come out soon. I'm also going to be doing a Halo episode on a retro review on Combat Evolved, and a Mortal Kombat episode soon. So please stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.